All right, this is just a quick NASCAR Final Four review. My buddy JB did one of these. I thought I would get on here and do one myself. So we've got Kevin Harvick, we've got Kyle Busch, we've got Denny Hamlin, and we've got Martin Truex Jr. What are my thoughts going into this championship race? You got to look at everybody else as well that's going to be involved in this race. You've got guys that, they're looking toward next year already, sponsorship, things of that sort. So I think these Final Four, these guys are going to really have to pace themselves in this race and not mix it up with these cars, these other drivers that have nothing to lose in this race. They're already out of championship contention. They're racing for the win, period. So that last 50 laps, I think it's really going to get dicey where these four are concerned. They're going to be pushing it. You got to finish as high up as you possibly can in this race to get that championship or to get enough points to win the championship. So honestly, I see a non-championship contender winning this race because like I say, they have absolutely nothing to lose. Those guys are going to be pushing it and pushing it hard. I could be wrong there. We'll see what happens. 1.5 mile track we're going to at Homestead. Denny Hamlin, I do not think will win the championship. He has been very, very strong. Yesterday at Phoenix, he had an extremely strong car, mixing it up a little bit with Chase Elliott, my driver. We'll get into that in just a second, talking about Chase. Denny had a very strong car, great straightaway speed, getting into the turns. He had pretty good speed there as well. He was able to maneuver. The thing about Denny Hamlin, he tends to be a little bit aggressive, and I think that will bite him in this race. Just a bit too aggressive, in my opinion. Beating in the fenders, things like that, getting on guys. I think that could get him into trouble. Kyle Busch, I do not think will win the championship simply because inconsistency here lately just hasn't been one of the top front runners for a while now. They're missing a little bit, and I don't know what it is, but I just don't see Kyle Busch being the man to take the championship. Kevin Harvick, he's kind of the dark horse. In my opinion, he's got to be on. They've got to give him a car that handles well. He's definitely got the experience, but things have to be on for Kevin Harvick to win this championship. The guy that I think will win the championship is Martin Truex Jr. He's been solid all year long. Had several races there that he could have won. Fell just a little bit short. I do think Martin Truex Jr. And his crew will be prepared for this race. The Phoenix race, two crew members, from what I understand, were held back and to start preparing for this championship race. So that's dedication right there. And I think Martin is solid enough anywhere he goes, patient enough to hold on to what he has in the car and to push it when he has to. So later on, last 50 laps of this race, I see Martin Truex Jr. being the guy to get the job done. That's just my opinion. That's who I want to win the championship. Personally, at this point, with Chase Elliott being out. But I think Martin Truex Jr. Will have what it takes to get the job done at Homestead. Going back to the Chase Elliott situation, there's a lot of fans. I'm a huge Chase Elliott fan, but I understand that he's young. And looking at the Chevrolet drivers, certainly one of the top Chevrolet drivers out there. In this race, this last race at Phoenix, ISM, beating it up quite a bit there with Denny Hamlin. banging the fenders quite a bit, which could have been the reason for the tire cutting down, because they had just just come into the pits, leaving the pits, going to the restart. Left rear cuts down, sending Chase into the wall. Chase telling the pit crew, prior to coming in to pit, hey, you guys check these fenders out, man. I was mixing it up quite a bit with Hamlin there. Let's just make sure these fenders are clear of the tires. So could it have been a fender? Could he have run over something? Who knows? But it's just one of those unfortunate things. At least the car was holding together. He was complaining about the power steering feeling funny. So they've got to figure things out for next year with Chase Elliott and that number 9 team. Got to put solid parts in that car and under the hood. So just one of those unfortunate things, that's racing. I'm a Chase Elliott fan, but above all, I'm a NASCAR fan, and I give credit where credit is due. And Chase is 23 years old. We've got, he's gaining experience each and every year. We saw a great run at Watkins Glen by him in the Roval. Who could ever forget that? Hitting the wall on that first turn, going way back in the pack, 50 laps to go, marching all the way to the front and winning the race with a damaged race car. So, you can't say he didn't have his moments this year, because he certainly did. So, on to next year. We'll get ready to pull for him and root him on next year. I'm excited about next year. So one thing I am excited about where the Chevrolets are concerned is that they're flattening out that front end. How will that affect the Chevrolets? Will it give them a little bit more aerodynamic advantage? Will it help the Chevrolets out with that nose being flat? We'll see how it handles overall. With that nose being flattened out a little bit. Hopefully it'll get them a little bit more up to par with the Toyotas and the Toyotas and the Fords. And certainly, it can't hurt in the respect that they don't have that pointed nose, and that they're able to push each other a little bit more without the fear of that pointed nose throwing things off center and wrecking the guy in front of you. So I think that's gonna help them out. As we all know, 2021 is gonna be the year. I think it's a do or die year for NASCAR. They keep making all of these changes. We're going to 18-inch wheels, from what I understand, which I don't agree with. I think they should stick with the 15-inch wheel. They're talking about going with a center lug, which would throw people out of a job. You're not going to have as many guys tightening lug nuts, so you're gonna need 2 guys basically, or 1 guy to tighten the center lug if they decide to go with that. I think that's a big mistake if they go with that. Those lug nuts are a part of NASCAR. They're a part of what makes it a team sport. You take the team aspect out of it, it's I don't know. I just think that would be a tremendous mistake by NASCAR. Trying to make things too new, too modern. You're getting away from what made the sport popular when you start making too many changes. So, the big spoiler on the back is an issue, especially at the 1.5-mile tracks. Your shorter tracks, the racing is good because they're locked down into the ground due to the downforce caused by that spoiler. But at the same time, on your 1.5-mile tracks, it causes so much drag. You're able to pull up to the car in front of you, but once you get there, it's like you're hitting a wall of air. We've heard the drivers talk about this time and time and time again. I would like to see that spoiler drop back down, which would loosen the cars up a little bit and make them, loose as fast, as we've always heard. But they look dumb, first of all. They're just too tall, too much downforce. and it's causing a drag issue, and we all know that. So I would like to see some changes made just with the spoiler. I think that would help out tremendously. So let me know what you think as far as what NASCAR could do to make these cars better. You can comment down below. But yeah, I'm going with the number 19 of Martin Truex Jr. in this championship. So we'll see what happens. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. You guys take it easy.